Welcome. It's another beautiful evening in Pueblo, Colorado. I call to order this special council meeting. Today is Monday, June 17th, 2024. The time is 7:34. Madam Clerk, we're going to move to roll call.
Mark Aliff,
Here.
Dennis Flores.
Here.
Roger Gomez.
Here.
Joe Latino.
Here.
Regina Maestri.
Here.
Sarah Martinez.
Here.
Everyone is here. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Can we now move to item C, resolutions?
Item C1, a resolution appointing a qualified person to fill the vacant at-large city councillor seat created by the resignation of Charles Hernandez.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You would like an update on the position? I would like to share with council and the public that we did receive a withdrawal of Chris Nickel. He has withdrawn from the at-large race. And please let staff know if there's any other decision processes that you'd like us to assist with. But otherwise, I believe that the information stands as to last Thursday's meeting for council's decision.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Did we need to approve the resolution?
So
Again?
at this point, staff would recommend suspending the rules if there's no objection from council to allow for council to do the same thing as previous, which is to perhaps do a few votes and see where you are at. And then once you have a successful candidate, actually moving the resolution and filling in the name of a qualified person into the resolution itself
Got it.
as your motion.
Got it.
So first, just nominations.
So if there's no objection from city council, I'm going to suspend the rules, which allows for multiple nominations. And that means if a nomination fails, it can be brought up again. And as we saw the other night, and again, and again, and again. So if there's no objection, we'll move on with that. There are no objections. It's my belief that we'll just move through this process exactly like we moved through it on Thursday night. When we left Thursday night, we said we were going to take the weekend and we were going to gather information, listen to our constituents, think about it, and come to a meeting of the minds on this beautiful Monday evening. And so hopefully that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to open it up to nominations.
Make any comments at all, or is this?
We had Councilor Gomez,
I
you
have-
can certainly have a comment.
Well, I had, again, going back to and this is not intended to be personal, but this has got to get on the table for me. First and foremost, I want to declare that I am not the one who gets easily intimidated. And I believe there's not anyone on this dais who does as well. So please, can we stop with the redundant and tired battle cry once and for all? We're all independent folks and we all have our own minds, and there's nothing personal that I can see going on. Secondly, I want to apologize to Chris Nickel and his family, who had to endure one unfortunate and unsubstantiated criticism after another during the vacancy process. It's my opinion this was set in motion after I made a principled vote, what I believe was a principled vote, basically denying Councilor Regina Maestri's desire to swap from a small district seat to a citywide at-large seat for personal gain. That's my opinion. I can assure you this was not personal, but I feel no one should be able to appeal to this kind of elevated swap without one vote or the input from the at-large constituency. This is clearly outlined in the curriculum manual of SIRSA and Colorado Municipal League handbook. They advise avoiding this kind of maneuver due to negatively impacting the voters' perceptions. Page 52, chapter 10. Our council should never have allowed or entertained this particular process after the main requester was given specific warnings by the city attorney that she should recuse herself from participating in filling the at-large seat. Maybe it's me, but I believe that also means not being able to vote on the final outcome. I'm requesting a motion be considered to postpone this vote until the recusal matter is settled, because in my mind, it's not. Thank you.
So you're making a motion to what?
Plus, do we review the recusal process that we went through, and did she abide, or did they abide, did we abide by it? Did we allow this to continue in reference to this at-large seat that I thought she had to recuse herself, yet she's voting on it? I don't understand how that works.
Well, quite frankly, I mean, I'm not the attorney and we'll let the
Sure.
attorney
Find out.
speak to it. But Counselor Maestri is not running for the at-large seat, so there's no reason for her to recuse herself from the voting. So, I mean, it's not a conflict of interest or a position where she would have to recuse herself because she's not in the running for the seat.
I
Well, that's
understand.
how that
I
ended.
understand, but I believe it goes beyond that. I think it's personal. She's made it personal with me because I stood up and voted what I thought was a principal vote that she should not be able to make a move into a larger constituency from 30,000 to 112,000. It just wasn't me. There were other councils that did the same thing.
Okay, so there's a motion to postpone this for a time while we figure out the recusal process. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there anybody else that wants to talk about this before we take the vote?
Could we have a comment from our legal? department?
Sure. Who would like to do it?
I'll-
Mr. Gifford?
I'll start and then, so the question about the recusal, that process was followed in that Counselor Maestri said that she had an interest in obtaining the seat. She then recused herself entirely from the building for that meeting. A vote was taken upon whether or not she should be appointed. The vote failed. Then Counselor Maestri was given every opportunity to apply, just like everybody else. She did not apply. She is not up for consideration for this seat at all. I don't see that her being able to vote or not vote has any bearing on the situation now. I don't find that to be a conflict in any way.
Counselor Flores?
I'm satisfied with that answer.
Okay. Let's call for the vote.
Repeat the motion again, would you, Mark?
The motion is to postpone this. And that motion fails 5-1. So we're going to get down to the business of selecting a new city councillor. I want to start off on a positive side. And the positive side to me is that every single person that applied, every single person that got interviewed has the ability and the skills and everything necessary to be on this city council and to be good at it. I think a lot of things get said, a lot of motions happen, and sometimes we just get off track sometimes. And I want to try and get back to it should be a positive thing. We're appointing somebody to city council and it should be positive, and they should have a spirit of wanting to join us because we do a good job and we work together and we get things done. I'm going to take a privilege here and I'm going to nominate Brett Boston for the position of city council at large.
I'm going to second your motion.
We have a first and a second. Is there any comments or questions? Let's call for the action. It passes 5-1. Mr. Boston, you are the newest city councillor for the city of Pueblo at large. And I believe, Madam Clerk, if
Yes.
we need to do the motion now.
Yes, if we could do an official motion, reading the language of the title and instead of qualified person, inputting the name of Mr. Boston.
So here, I make a motion that we accept the resolution appointing Brett Boston to fill the vacant at-large city councillor seat created by the resignation of Charles Hernandez.
For a second.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any comments? Let's call for the vote. It passes 5-1. Remember that, the, HSPPR and the rescues have great pets. If you get a chance, please go down there to the HSPPR, the local rescues, chip your pets and spay and neuter. And for that, have a great evening.